I'm afraid I need to start this vlog on a little bit of a somber note. Unfortunately, the caravan that we've all known and loved for the past 3 seasons racing is no more. She died about 2 or 3 weeks ago, suffering from some really bad damp and the walls coming away from the floor. So if we can all just take, you know, a few seconds just to remember the caravan. Welcome to the vlog. So as you'll be able to tell, I am still in a caravan despite our old caravan dying, and that's because I'd like to at this point joke that because I'm a superstar that someone's bought us a caravan, but that is not the case. So we'd like to thank Halifax for buying this one for us. It's a Swift Charisma 2011 for those of you who are a caravan nerd. It's got a fixed bed at the back, a proper bathroom with a decent shower, which is a must for myself, and it's got my wife sat there as well. So yeah, you can probably hear bikes going round, and I'm not going round because if you can see the raindrops on that window, then we've got a kind of similar to Snetterton situation going on. So if you watch that vlog, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you didn't watch that vlog, then go and watch it. But yeah, it's cold, it's wet, it's windy, it's miserable.
It's awful.
Now, yeah, there's people going around. It looks like Saturday will be dry. Sunday's looking a little bit hit and miss. I've had days like that at Cadwell before where it's like, I think wet dry 5 times in one day. It was sunny as well. I don't think the sun's going to make an appearance this weekend. So I'm going to, well, I just went down and watched, but it's just, there's a lack of track temperature and wet, so I would rather not do this. I mean, I did say on the last vlog that I'm also not going to go out, and then I went out and then I spanned myself, didn't I? So I'm not too concerned about that happening. I just, yeah, I'd rather wait till it's a bit warmer and a bit nicer this afternoon. So, well, stay tuned and find out what I did. We've resorted to playing Jacks 2s and 8s in the caravan, and it's a contentious subject between myself and Steph and all of our friends about whether a card numbered 7 is involved. I say it obviously isn't because it's called Jacks 2s and 8s. There's no mentions of 7s. However, I'm more than sure that someone watching this vlog will also think 7s are involved. So if you do think 7s are involved, please tell me and give your explanation, because anyone else who thinks 7s are involved's got no explanation other than that's the rules. It's time for the afternoon session, so get my gear on. It's improved it a little bit. I don't think it's going to rain anymore now. As you can see, there's like a little bit of dry there, so the track's probably not too bad. The group before me has just gone out, so I've got about 15 minutes to go up there. Just steady away really, try not to do anything stupid. So we done that session, everything went fine. It was definitely drying out on track. There's new tarmac at the bottom of the mountain though, and it is slippery. It's a slippy thing. I'm not going to say no swear words, like the kids watching. So we've got the dry tyres in now. The wets have taken a bit of stick. They're obviously second hand from Snetterton anyway. Front looks fine. Rear is definitely, you know, not had a great time. So I'm just going to have to go out there. Pretty much everywhere was okay, apart from into the chicane or bus stop and then into the mountain. But there was a dry line development, and that was sort of half an hour ago, so 15-minute sessions now. Yeah, so I'm on track in about 15 minutes. Hopefully it goes well. Put the dry suspension settings back in the bike as well. At the moment, anyone who's interested, in the wet I take 4mm preload off front and rear and 3 clicks off everything. Although because the track was slightly dry in areas, I was able to use more brake, and that was unsettling the rear in some of the areas. So maybe I'll only go 3mm preload next time and 2 clicks perhaps, don't know. But yeah, let's see what happens in this next session. So I've just had what was my second session of the day. Went alright, slow riders everywhere, but that kind of happens on the test day. So bike felt fine, I feel fine, hand seems okay. I'm not exactly going fast at the moment though. So one session left. I need to make sure I'm there to get out before everyone else turns up, and then hopefully I can get some clear laps and try and get somewhat of an eye in for qualifying tomorrow morning. Well, that's the end of the test day. It went all right in the end. I did try my new leathers on, and I've never wore anything that fits worse apart from the first set that I got. So if anyone wants to buy a set of leathers for cheap that were custom made, but they have my name on, just let me know. Otherwise I don't know what to do with them. Might set fire to them. Yeah, don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that's the end of the day. Went well in the end. The bike scrutineered, although my left clip-on was loose-ish. Enough for the scrutineer to pull it round. So I obviously just need to tighten that pinch bolt, but what is interesting is the fact that I've rode it for 3 sessions and it hasn't moved at all, so I must be quite light through the handlebars. But just make the decision now on whether we're going to change to new tyres for the morning, because it looks like it'll be wet or damp. So if it is going to be wet or damp, then I'd rather use old tyres rather than new tyres, just because you're just using new tyres for the sake of it. You're not going to get the benefit from them. But yeah, see you before quali in the morning. Just about to go up for quali. You can probably see that coming out well, so it's not too warm. I've opted to put the old tyres back in from Snetterton, just because I think there is no advantage to running new ones, and if there is, it's very small. I'd rather have that advantage in the race. So ready to go out. It is cold. I don't know what the track temperature is, I should check. Yeah, see how quali goes. Didn't really get to put any good lap times in tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I'll get straight down to it when it matters. Just get out in the front of qualifying, and hopefully there's no one in my way and I can just set my own pace. See you after quali. Well, a bit of a shit qualifying session. First of all, I forgot the transponder, so poor Steph had to run all the way up to the tent. We're on the last row of tarmac at Cadwell and then run down. Managed to get out on time. Didn't have a pit board though, obviously, because Steph had to run up. And then first lap through Hall Bends, clip-on just fully moved round on me. It came loose. They noticed it was loose at scrutineering yesterday, so obviously I tightened it up and it was just loose again. So I had to pull in the pits. Ash from Track Prep, luckily I collared him, got him to tighten it for me. Endurance racing's on this weekend, so they had some tools in the pit lane. So then I managed to go back out, albeit I was just traffic after traffic. I did like a 35.4 I think, but honestly I felt like I was walking around, so I still managed to qualify 5th on the grid. And if we think at Snetterton, I started right from the very back, so we're only going to do better than 5th. So see what happens in the race, eh? And Richie's just sorting me clip on out, trying to make sure it doesn't come round again, because that was rather sketch. finished race 1. Absolutely horrendous start, probably the worst start I've ever had. I just couldn't stop it wheeling. I came round at the end of the first lap in 8th place, so I lost 3 positions, managed to fight my way back through, but I did sort of get held back so the lead group got away, even though I was closing in and, at least from my point of view, seemed faster than James and Jack, who were battling over 3rd place. But ultimately they just put the time into me at the start, so I'm still about 2 seconds off my PB, which I can't believe. But obviously if I'm able to run in clear air, I'll follow someone who's faster than me, you know, to get back up to speed, because we haven't had much of a test day. But yeah, it could have been worse. I could have finished 8th, so 5th place, not too bad, and definitely something I can build on tomorrow. So yeah, roll on tomorrow. Well, it's Sunday morning, as predicted. It's very wet outside. Rather miserable. Obviously I didn't do any wet run on Friday morning, so I've got my emergency practice pass, got a new set of wets on, just go out and get a feel for the conditions in about 15 minutes before my race in about an hour and a half. So obviously the track conditions aren't going to change too much. Just try and take it steady and find out if there's any grip anywhere. So that was rather calamitous. The weather is obviously playing a big part of it. So the race was in two parts. First part of it got red flagged after 3 or 4 laps, I think. It was reduced anyway. There's been lots of red flags today, fallers due to the rain. So in the first part, I didn't make a good start again. Got beat up in the chicane. Loads more bikes past me, but it became obvious that I was faster than the people in front of me. I just had to work my way through, so I wasn't too panicked, and I did start to, well, a guy high-sided in front of me at last corner, so I was like, oh shit, you know, making sure I didn't collect him or his bike and go down myself. Then the guys in front had quite a big gap. I don't know whether I'll put it in the vlog or not, and I closed it in within like literally 2 corners. So, and then then I overtook someone going down Park Straight, and then it went red flag. So we came back. I quickly put my foggy thing on my nose because I was struggling with vision, and then when we went back out, again I made a really bad start, but I knew that I had to not mess around because these guys were going to hold me up, and you know I wouldn't be able to battle for the lead. So I made, I'm guessing, probably 4 overtakes on the first lap, and settled into 3rd. Going into the hairpin on 1 lap, I heard an engine rev up really fast, so no doubt someone high-sided behind me there, or that's what it sounded like, or unless I'd lost the front and got a load of throttle as I'd fallen off. But after all that, I came away with the 3rd place, only half points, which is a bit unfortunate, but there was only me, 2nd place, and the leader, so James Alderson, Barry Burrell, and me. We were the only people in the 51s, so if the weather stays like this, it looks like, well, I think there's pace to fight for a win, realistically, but we'll just have to see how it goes. The weather might change, however, with this amount of water outside, I cannot see it going anywhere, so yeah, find out what happens in the next part of the vlog. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers. So a little update on how the day's gone. The track running has now commenced again. It's still very wet, but it has stopped raining, so things are drying out. Not sure. Oh, check out the Crocs, by the way, personalised. But yeah, it's pretty. I mean, this is like a scene from Creamfield, surely. Without being raven in the mud. Yeah, so it's pretty minging. However, you know, it's not raining, and we just went down and watched a Super Series 1000 race, and there was definitely a lot less spray. Track looked visibly a lot drier. third on the grid, as you'll probably see. I'll probably edit this in. But I'd adjusted the clutch bite point, and I managed to get it off the line this time, which was a nice, not surprise. I had half an idea that that might solve the problem. Track was really dry. I could hear James's booming 675 right behind me. I knew it was James, and I struggled in a few areas, mainly into the gooseneck. It was still a bit sort of greasy there, and then also into the bus stop. So they were my two weak areas on the track, and slowly but surely I got passed first by James, which was costing me. I ran too deep into the chicane. James got past me on the brakes coming into the mountain, and then basically a lap or two later Barry Burrell did exactly the same thing, and then Lee Wells came past me. I'm not sure where Lee got me actually, but at both when they went past me I felt like I could keep up with them, and in certain areas, specifically sector 1 with the faster corners, I was definitely faster than they were, but you know, the slightly iffy conditions, I lost a bit of concentration. However, that doesn't matter. Oh, I went over the grass at Chris Curve at like, I don't know how fast it was, but we all know how wet it's been today, so that was definitely heart in the mouth stuff. And so now fly back onto the track, unsure of how much like squelchy mud is going to be all over my tyres, and Halliday came past me going into the bus stop. Obviously I was being very cautious, not knowing how muddy my tyres were. Anyway, I managed to get back past him and sort of keep my head on to bring home in 4th place. However, the good thing about what happened is it meant that we actually finished 3rd overall by 1 point, which means we get another one of these, a little bit of prize money, and more importantly than that, now moved into 3rd place in the championship. So despite it not being a perfect weekend, and there's certainly things I could have done better, but we're all learning, aren't we? So I was in 3rd overall this weekend. I got 3rd place, and now I'm 3rd in the championship. So it's like all the threes. Thanks so much for watching my vlog. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.